everybody, welcome to the Cow Emporium and calving week 2. It was a lot of work.
Let's push this bale. Come on, bale. Let's do this. Well, it might be helpful if I put my gloves on first. Here, hang on. Push! Come on, get your back into it.
Monday morning brought us snow and cold temperatures. The cows were ready for their feed that morning.
Good morning, girls. What do y'all think about the snow and the 20 plus below? You got a little something on your face there.
This is our pen that we keep our new babies in until we get about 20 or so, and then we're going to move the bulls and put them out where the bulls are currently. This is Monday, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Glen had been out checking and noticed that this heifer has a water bag present. That's what that is, you see?
It's about, I don't know, 7:30 Monday night. I know you can't see me. We're headed to the barn. We have a heifer who started calving. Water bag presented at 5 o'clock. Feet were going the right way. Looked like decently small feet, but it's now 7:30 and she's done nothing. So we're gonna go check her out and see what's going on.
Just a warning that there's fairly graphic content ahead.
You getting there, buddy? You still with us? Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
it's breathing. It's breathing.
As I'm editing this video, I thought maybe some of you might be wondering why we had that heifer's leg roped up. Well, that heifer wasn't going to be standing, and so we were trying to help her, and like out of pull, Glen said that was probably an 8 out of 10 for a very, very hard pull. So one of our vets one time when he was out, this calf we were sure it was stuck. And stuck calves, we don't want to talk about that. But so when she was laying down on the ground like that, we put a rope around her hind leg and basically spread her pelvis open so that the birthing canal had more room in it. And then Glen was using the big pullers. And so big pullers usually go on the back end. But because this calf was so stuck, if you think, like when they come out, if this was the legs and this is the body, they're coming out and it makes sense for them to curve like this. So when it came out, we wanted to like sort of mimic that curve that it would do down to the ground if the cow was standing. Now cows don't always stand when they have their babies, but that was the best way with the hips open to like really get that calf coming out of there. Anyway, it worked, and we were just so thankful.
Oh, that's yours. I know, it was a lot of work. Good job, Mama. Yeah, baby needs you to lick it off.
Because it was so cold, it was minus 23 when we came out and dropped down to minus 33. So we decided to drag this new little baby into the shed and let it have the night underneath the furnace, blowing down some warm air on it. Glen's tube feeding it. That's where you would put the tube straight down into the stomach to feed it because it wasn't strong enough to suck yet.
This is a guy we pulled last night. He spent the night in the barn. Gave him some colostrum when he was a couple hours old, and then when it warmed up a little bit this morning, we put him in with his mom. He's not quite on his pins yet. She's up, and I just got her locked in the stanchion here. She doesn't have a lot of milk, so I'm going to milk her out some. And I've gave this guy another half dose of colostrum, just keep him going, get some groceries into him till he gets on his pins, and we'll probably give him whatever we get out of his mom. And this morning, right after chores, we had cow decide she's going to calve out in the field, but we chased her in before it came out. So that calf is less than an hour old. It's up sucking right now, and he'll spend the night in the barn unless we get full in here, because it was 33 below last night, so that's plenty cold. It's about 20 below outside right now, so we keep everybody warm and bedded and alive, we hope. So I'm going to rope her and try and get a little milk out of her just to get her started. It was so cold last night when I grabbed my Rubbermaid wheelbarrow. I flipped it over just to knock the snow out of it, and it was so cold that the handle, you can see, snapped halfway off in the cold. Anyways, I thought these things were pretty well indestructible, but not when it's that cold. So I got the job done with it, and then this morning I just bolted a piece of plywood on there to the handle and onto the rest of the wheelbarrow, and I think that'll probably be just fine. These are expensive. I don't really want to buy a new one, but anyway, fun and games in the cold. Got her back foot roped. We'll see how happy she is about being milked. Yeah, I milked her out what she had and fed him and picked her out there with him. So we'll just keep an eye on stuff. Hopefully he'll be on his pins by later on today. He's looking a little brighter already since he's had his lunch.
Hi, Mama. Yeah, we'll get your baby here pretty soon. me in the truck. I just want to say hi. Hi. You gotta go around the other side. Yeah. Excuse me. Good morning. That truck is not your scratching post. Hello. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, my glove. Good morning. So this is still the little guy that was born on Monday. We kept putting him back in the shed because at this point he's still not standing. His mom's pretty easy to work with, so we lock her in our little stanchion and she has something to eat. She's happy. And then Glen can work with the calf. Because it was such a hard pull, and this is such a large calf, we knew it was going to take a long time for it to get standing. And so it's good to work with it a couple of times a day. And he had shown some initiative, this calf, to be able to stand on its own. But those front knuckles just kept buckling over. That's okay. It's only 2 days old. But I'll tell you, you sure work up an appetite outside all day. This girl here, I spotted her on the way in. That swishy tail means she was going to calve. Thursday morning wasn't quite as cold. Glen's feeding the new mamas in the corral. This is Swishy Tail. Sure enough, she calved. Glen's just gonna put the band on, castrating band, give it an earring, and out it goes.
One, two.
What?
One, two.
I took the wheelbarrow behind the barn to bring our cow in some hay. We went down east to that new haystack to grab some hay. The snow is really deep. It was kind of fun to watch this bunny in my garden box right now because there was no veggies. I made this yaki udon for supper, and when I added the very fine fish flakes to the top before serving it, they wiggled about. It was so cool. Once the moisture hit them, they stopped. So this is our baby. That spent the week not standing, and finally, Thursday night, got his pins about him. This is how the cattle eat the bale. When they're reaching through the fence, we always make sure that there aren't any calves sleeping in that little hollow spot before we readjust the bale. There's a couple of pens out behind the barn, and there are observation pens. We're not ready to let that heifer
and her new calf that's just freshly standing go in with the cows that have calves yet, because there's a chance we might need to bring her into the barn. So we filled a pen with some nice fluffy straw, let her out of the barn, and then came Red 203. It is so awesome to see him walking.
Come on. Yeah, you pretend you can't walk, and then you charge him when you have the bottle. Hey, Mama, take your baby. Yeah, take your baby. There you go.
All the work that we put into this calf this week, we are certainly happy with this ending.
Nice.
Thanks for watching our week 2 of calving, everybody. I'm glad you could follow along with the story of this calf and its mom. Take care. Bye for now.